So, look, we're talking about the new EP chapters. I'm looking at the album cover now, or the EP cover, should I say, and it looks like a heavy metal Bible. It's got the leather interior with the logo. Do you think it should have had studs around the outside of it that it could have been interpreted as the heavy metal Bible?
Well, we were almost thinking of going that extreme. And then we said, you know what? Let's keep it simple. It's, just we're coming back. Let's just try to, we kept it simple, but I think it kind of makes a cool statement. And, you know, although I have seen like one or two other bands recently, like had like the cover, but it was like a flat look, but with all studs and stuff on it. So I said, I think, we had a couple of different versions, but this one kind of everyone and let a couple other people look at it and they were like, no, this was simple. So we liked it.
So you said you're coming back, so you could say it's the resurrection of Wicked Maraya.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
God bless you, brother.
I love it. I love it.
Hallelujah. So I mean, how long did it take to record this EP? I mean, do you write all the lyrics, or is it a joint thing with the band?
Yeah, I wrote the majority of them. That's how we usually work. This one was Dan was it was funny because Dan actually was one who like really started getting us going on it. He's like, we got to do something. We got to do something. He had been in the studio mixing. He mixed Gojira record. He mixed the Ghost record. He was working with Avenged Sevenfold at his studio in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
And being around a lot of these bands, I guess, he would maybe once in a while play like a Wicked Maraya track in his studio, just whatever. And a couple of people like, this is pretty cool. So Dan kind of got the bug and we were all like, all right, if we're going to do this, we're really going to do it. So we mapped out the time and then Dan had something to go on in the studio. And, so the majority of the writing, I'll say 90% of it was John. He sat and he's like, all right, we're going to do it. Mike came up with a lot of riffs and John incorporated them. Chapter 4 is kind of like Mike's baby. He really wanted to have a vibe. But John, for the most part, writing, he would send the songs to me. Like I said, he's up in New York. I'm down in Florida. I have my little studio and I just would, lyrics, and then we kind of just combined everything. And they had all the way I like to work is send me basically the songs completed almost, because I know a lot of times it's like, well, let's let the singer pick. You guys are writing the music, then I'll vibe around what you guys come up with. And we could always tweak things anyway, but so the songs are basically pretty much almost for the most part done, and then they got sent to me. And I recorded my scratch vocals because I'm not the best technical, with the programs and stuff. But I did that, and then I went up to New York for about 3 days, and it might have been four. And we were just going to do pre-production on the vocals, and we jumped right in the studio, and we banged out about 3.5 of the 5 songs in the 3 days, and then the rest we were going to do up. We're into Pennsylvania a couple of weeks later to do the mixing and add. We had a lot of ideas, like we have the kids choir on the one song and the guitar solos and overdubs and everything. But we saved a heck of a lot of time because when I got to Pennsylvania, they were listening to everything. And Danny and John were like, you don't have to re-sing anything. The demo vocals, because, where I did demo vocals on, I had an okay mic, actually a decent mic, Danny saying, but I don't know how to record properly with levels. John has his studio. It's a professional studio, and the quality of the manly microphones he had there, and we just dove into it, and we felt like we were back 30 years ago, like we were, and it was the same basement. The funny thing is John's studio is in the same house where we did our first gig 30 years before that, but it's now converted into a recording studio. And my voice I really tried to make sure and worked on my voice down here in Florida, excuse me, to make sure it was in shape. And John was really like, wow, whoa, dude, what is going on with your vocals? He's like, he started getting inspired, and then I started getting inspired, and we really, started growing what we did vocally. So when we got to Pennsylvania, we had 11 days to do a lot of stuff, and a lot of it we thought we were going to spend half of it on vocals. We kept everything I recorded in Long Island, finished up the last two songs, the last 2 songs I just didn't have a chance to record, tweaked a couple of words here and there, maybe changed a melody or something if we heard something. And then it was just really, we spent a lot of time, the mixing, getting all the sounds the way they were supposed to be. We had the kids choir in, which I thought was phenomenal, on chapter 5. And so overall, I mean, we spent maybe a total of 11, maybe like 15, 16 days in a studio, but it was written over, just a couple of months, like normal. Once we sat and decided, it was a couple of weeks, and then we got everything together. So, and then once everything was done, we shot the video in April, then we started shopping it. And then, Massacre wanted to do it, and they had a plan to put it out, right around, the first single came out in October, and the full EP came out in November.
So you got like John in New York, and you got Dan in Pennsylvania. So where do you guys rehearse? Is it New York still? Because you're in. What did you move to Florida? What was the reason?
No, I moved to Florida 2000. I've been down here. Those
Okay.
guys, yeah, those guys do all the stuff. See, I've been singing. I never stopped singing, so my voice is in good shape. So John, they did all the stuff up there. It was basically, modern recording where I just got the songs, I recorded on my studio, sent it back to them in a file. They're up there. They're actually probably starting rehearsing. I know John, Mike, and Rob are probably just about to get started rehearsing for our set list. Danny's going to start coming in next week up to New York. And then they're going to come down about 3 days before the gigs down here. And we're just going to run through everything. I mean, like I said, my voice is in great shape. I could still sing all of our material in the original key. So I told those guys, you do your thing. And when you come down here, we'll enjoy sunny Florida. And then we'll have a couple of quick rehearsals and we'll bang stuff out.
So what have
But
you been doing then vocally since Wicked Maraya? What do you do after they broke up vocally? Because you can't. I didn't really anything about you. You just kind of.
no, I never did anything, professionally. I came down to Florida and I joined a cover band where I never thought I'd want to do that, but it was fun.
Was you doing
Right?
Wicked Maraya songs?
No, although my keyboard player does have our whole catalog in his sampler and stuff. And every once in a while he'll bust out like the chorus of Resurrection or the Legacy, or they'll play it. So, a lot of people knew of the band down here. And it was so wild because, I happened to fall into playing with probably the most popular cover band when I first moved down here in 2000 and 2001. I started with them. And it was wild how every once in a while people would come up to me and I'd hear, a German accent or a European, and they go, "Are you the singer from Wicked Maraya?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, that's me." They're like, "Oh my God," you know.
So
But just
what's the band called? This popular band that you're in? What they called?
the band down here, we're called the Smoking Aces,
Right.
and we do everything from. I mean, I sing everything from Limp Bizkit, Kid Rock. We'll do Metallica, Priest. Um, I'll sing The Weekend. I sing Born on Blondes. I sing some of the girl songs. It's just fun. For
Yeah.
that, it's weekend. People down here, Fort Lauderdale area. Every weekend they want to go out and have a good time. And I was able to, though, keep my voice in shape. I was able to keep my entertaining, and it really built my confidence even more. So when the time came for us to record this record, I really, really focused on making sure my voice was strong because I knew where we were going to go with it, and I knew the sound I wanted. And I could say, like, Johnny, John was pretty blown away when we started doing it. He was like, "Your voice just is strong," and it was, I don't know if they were worried. I mean, who knows? Because we haven't done this in a while, but let's just say everyone was just like pleasantly surprised. Surprised. So
I mean, you're doing that. You're doing I believe you're doing a live concert with a Pantera tribute band shortly, aren't you? I noticed.
yeah, the owner of the venue. There's a venue down here called Piper's Pub in Pompano Beach, right by Fort Lauderdale, and the owner, Greg Watts, has always treated me great with my band down here. And we pack his venue almost every time we play. We're one of the popular cover bands. People come out and have a good time. And his venue is one of the go-to venues. Well, he's a metalhead. I mean, he's had Joey Belladonna was recently there. The Iron Maidens come through.
Yeah,
They'll
it's
have
ex Phantom Blue in it, the drummer
yeah,
for Phantom
yeah,
Blue.
yes, exactly. And and there were some metal guys down here. Like, I mean, Ingve lives in Miami. He never ventures up this way, but he just had a couple of bands play the other night. Jeff Scott Soto was down here. I'm not sorry, not Jeff Scott. He was down here, was coming, but Neil Turbin was here the other night fronting a band. Patrick Johansson, who played with Ingve and Wasp, was on drums. Dave Spitz, Dan Spitz's brother, who was in
Black Sabbath.
Yeah, they're all down here. So he had a metal night, and he was like, if Wicked Maraya ever reforms, he's like, and if you guys play, he's like, I want the first gig. He's like, I'm telling you, I want the first gig. So we said, okay.
Awesome.
And we decided we're going to do it. And I said, it's cold. I said, why? I don't want to come up to New York. I said, you guys come down to Florida. And he's like, I want to get a cool band to blend you with. And it's the Monsters of Rock cruise, or one of the cruises. I forget. I think it's Monsters of Rock is the next day. And there were a lot of bands on that night, but we just couldn't. He was hoping to get one of those bands for us to play with, but it just didn't work out. And then he's like, there's this killer band, and they're a Pantera tribute band. They call the Pantera Experience. And he's like, I think you guys would fit with them. And I said,
do you know, I bet they do all the real cool shit, like the early stuff. I bet they do all the modern Pantera, which I think kind of sucks. I like the power metal album. I think that's a fucking awesome album.
Yeah, well, I know the early stuff where you don't realize that's Pantera. It's like,
whoa. People don't realize. I think it's just Cowboys from Hell onwards. No. What about the early shit, man?
Yeah, they were Dime's hair, Diamond, they call it, his hair was like bigger than mine back then. but they're really cool. And I told him, I said, listen, we actually played when we did a run through Dallas once. Phil Anselmo's band Superjoint Ritual actually opened for Wicked Maraya when he was just starting out, and we got to hang out with all the Pantera guys. They were so cool. And I said it'll be a good mix because we got a lot of the heavier songs in our set. And the last time they played at Piper's, they packed the place. And we said, this is good because a lot of people down here, they know of me from the cover band. But I told people, I said, you're not going to be hearing, Blister in the Sun by the Violent Femmes. I said, we're going to be coming out and it's going to be metal. But a lot of our crowd are metalheads. They're like, so it's going to be a cool mix, and we're really excited. We've got 2 other shows too. We're going to do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday run down here in South Florida.
Awesome. I mean, I was looking at your website, the Wicked Maraya website, and I've noticed the second album and third, you've got the title Wicked Maraya on there. Why have you changed it? Yeah. Why did you do it? Because it doesn't relate, like you said earlier on, it doesn't relate to the heavier Wicked Maraya, does it?
Well, it didn't. But then I said, you know what? I said I wanted it. I'm very OCD, so I said I just don't like it just saying Mariah. So I figured, you know what? Then I don't think those albums are even in print anymore. And if they can find them, if they type in Hope United, people will find it. But I said, I want everything branded with us once again to be Wicked Maraya. And some of the songs that we play from those albums, they're going to sound like Wicked Maraya now anyway, because we're going to beef them up. So it's all good.
So how would you describe your music, Lou? Would you say it's US power metal?
I don't know. I mean, I think I always would just say it's metal because I didn't know how to categorize it, but I do think there are power metal elements. It's melodic, it's groovy. I do think we have a lot of groove, in it as well. But it definitely could. I would say it's not power metal like, let's say like that.
I'm thinking of the American power metal because I think a lot of the European power metal, I call it unicorn metal.
Right. It's not like, it's not like the symphonic metal.
No, I'm not really my thing, to be honest. I like the bands like Hellstar and Omen and them sort of bands. That's what I call real power metal.
Oh yeah, Hellstar, James. And I lived in Houston for a few years, and one of my friends that I made down there was best friends with James Rivera.
I know him. Cool guy. Yeah.
He is so cool, and watched him play around there. And my God, his voice is still insane. But yes, so for American, I would say, American power metal, I would go with that. I'm comfortable with it. I love it.
Yeah. So how many new songs, Lou, have you got wrote for the next record? Because obviously, Massacre Records are going to put the next one out.
I mean, we've got, there are ideas going, no full songs yet. We have done, I'll tease it a little. We did take something from the Cycles record, John and I, and reworked it into something interesting. That will come out eventually, another couple of weeks and maybe, a few months down the road. We took a song from Cycles and we had a day when I went up there to do the video, we said, let's do something interesting. And we reworked one of the songs on Cycles to do something really moody and really cool. So we have that done. But just there are riffs galore. And now, Danny's, now he's had a lot more time. Michael's been sending us videos with riffs. He's writing songs. Danny's writing them. So is John. The way this one came together, I don't think we'll have an issue popping 10 more songs out very quickly if we my phone's beeping. Shut off. Doing an interview. I don't think we'll have a problem banging out, 8 or 10 songs if we have to in a good period of time. We're in a good flow. The positivity and just the energy with the band is just so good. And the response we've been getting, again, if it would have just fell flat, we probably would have been like, hey, this was good,
But it's over, sort of thing.
Yeah. But the response we got, I mean, like I said, we're hounding people. Throw us a week or two if you're on tour, or give us a couple of festivals. We'll fly for whatever. Just if you got 2 or 3 festivals in a row, we'll do it. Or if a band, I know the days, as the days of, the especially a band of our level. I mean, we know what we are. We're not Metallica. We're not Anthrax or, something like that. The days of, popping on a tour bus for 2, 3 months, doesn't happen anymore. But I see bands going out, doing maybe a 4 or 5 date run in Europe, and then they take a couple of weeks off. They go back out again.
Yeah,
we're down for that. If any band is like, hey, when Wicked Maraya is back, I'd love to play a couple of bills with them. Let us know. We'll figure it out. We'll work out the details.
Do you have a management then, or anything? Or are you just doing it all on your own?
We're doing it on our own. We do have someone who's starting to work with us and help us out a bit. The good thing is with John, producing and stuff, he's meeting people in the industry. And Dan, he is, Gojira, again, Ghost, Avenged Sevenfold. He was nominated for 2 Grammys. He's coming across a lot more people as well in the industry. And now they're starting to realize that he also has a band. So we're getting now, hey, do you mind if I maybe try to help out with this or that? And, we're going to take anyone's help, that we can. We greatly appreciate it.
If I can help, I will do, brother. I mean, if you can tell Dan about my drum set, and if you can get me some work with some of the bands he's working with, that'll be absolutely killer, man.
Yeah, well, we're here. You help, we help you, we help us.
Yeah, it's family. Yeah, it's family.
It's family. It's a musical family, because that's what's been keeping, in all honesty, all these bands. That's what's been keeping everyone alive. This music alive for so long. It's like it's a community that does for each other, which I think is great.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to hearing the next record, Lou. I'd like to thank you for doing this interview. Do you have anything to say to the people watching this on YouTube?
Yeah, thank you, and thank you. I end almost every interview with that. We cannot thank everyone enough for sticking with us. You. I mean, we've known each other how many years, but always messaging.
About 30 years or something near enough.
Yes, always keeping in touch, always asking about the band. And it's because of you and people like you who keep our fire going when we were like, let's do this. And then we were inspired. And I think the EP is really cool. So all we can ask people is, in this day and age, it's different than it was back in the day. Social media is very important. We have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have TikTok. We've got everything. Like our page, follow us, subscribe. It looks good for the numbers. And anyone out there who wants to set us up with a couple of gigs, or, band on tour or a festival, you know where to find us. Or just contact my brother right there, and he'll get in touch with us.
Well, I've just subscribed to your Facebook, YouTube page today. But thank you for sending me the EP yesterday, because I didn't get it from Massacre Records. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to review it for you this week, and I'll send you the link for that.
Oh, I can't wait. And when this is done, it'll be posted on our page. We've got a new little social media. I'll say little, they're really good. They do a lot of decent, pretty big level bands. Social media company, Mindful Music Promotions, that's going to be helping us get out to social media a bit more. So they want old clips of interviews and stuff. So I'm sure this is going to be thrown into some of the stuff they're popping out there in the next few weeks. Brilliant,
Lou. Thank you for tonight. I just want to say to you, I've got photos of you from the Power Mad Festival. Did you ever see them?
I've seen, I believe I saw, now that was in Baltimore, right?
97. I sent you, I'm pretty sure I sent you some pictures.
Yes, you did, because that's also got Keith, right? There were pictures of Keith.
Rest in peace,
yes. Scott Keith, yeah, rest in peace as well. Yes, you did send them to me, because I have them. I think they're also going to be in the collection We're going to make an announcement soon regarding a possible reissue of Cycles. But you'll be seeing those photos around. But yes, I did get them.
Right, brother. Have a nice day. Keep in touch, and I hope we don't have to wait another 20 years.
No, definitely not. And thank you. I know it's late by you, so thank you for staying up, my friend.
Thank you, brother. Take care, man. I love you, bro.
You too, man. Love you, man.
Take care, man. Take care, Lou. Bye-bye. Thank you.